The calendar, it turns. The clock, it ticks. And every now and again, the United States Mint, your mint, stamps onto a coin, in this case, a 25-cent piece. Not just a quarter, mind you, but a declaration, a portrait in miniature of what it means to be free. Today we go back to a place of grit, a place of shadow, a place where the mountains talk to the sky and the people talk back to the government. Yes, that's right, folks. We're going to the state of West Virginia. When you think of West Virginia, you think of coal dust. You think of hard scrabble living. You think of the earth itself, scraped raw, and rightly so. But there's a deeper truth carved into that state, a truth so foundational they stamped it onto their seal. It's a story of separatism, the Civil War. It tore apart families, it tore apart the nation, and it tore apart Virginia herself. When the Old Dominion pulled away from the Union, the rugged, independent mountain counties refused to go with it. They were Unionists, they were Loyalists, they were mountaineers. They saw themselves not as part of a plantation economy, but as men and women carved from the granite itself. And so in 1863, they carved a new state out of the old. West Virginia was born in the fire of conviction, born because its people were determined to remain exactly what their state motto proclaimed, Montani semper liberi, mountaineers are always free. And that brings us to the coin. This silver quarter was minted in 2005, a coin designed to capture the essence of the spirit and the modern meaning of that ancient motto. Now, if you look at the reverse of this quarter, you might expect a coal mine, you might expect a log cabin, you might expect a symbol of labor. But what do you see? Well, it's an impossible arc of steel. You see the New River Gorge Bridge, 3,000 feet long, 876 feet high, an engineering marvel that took 3 years and over $37 million to span the New River, which is not new at all, and is estimated to be 260 to 325 million years old, making it one of the oldest rivers in the world and the oldest in North America. It is a symbol of taming the impossible landscape. It is a monument to the human ingenuity rising above the rugged stubbornness of the mountain. But the story isn't just in steel. Look closer into the symbolism of that magnificent bridge. What have the mountaineers done? They aren't mining, they aren't farming. They're conquering the very terrain that forged them. The old mountaineers proved they were free by fighting a war and drawing a border. The new mountaineers prove they are free by seeking the greatest physical and mental challenges the state can offer. They are not merely living in the mountains, they are living with the mountains. The motto is not a passive statement of liberty, it is an active prescription for adventure. This quarter is a lesson in statehood, really. It says that the strength of this piece is not just what they take from the ground, but what they ask of themselves when they're facing a 900-foot drop, or 5,000 cubic feet of water per second. Maybe that's symbolic, or maybe it's right here on this coin. It shows that being always free is about choosing the path of most resistance. The silver in this case is merely the vessel of the story, the grit, the fight, and the sheer unbridled spirit of independence that builds a state and now sends men and women leaping off bridges and paddling through ancient river turbulence. That spirit is priceless. And now you know the story of this West Virginia quarter, a beautiful quarter. As always, the obverse here is stunning. We see the S mint mark right there, and George Washington brought to us by John Flanagan, who is the person who designed, the engraver, let's say, who designed the obverse of this coin. The scene here that you've just been told about from this 2005 quarter was engraved by none other than John M. Mercanti. Yes, the guy who brought us the American Silver eagle. So this coin in itself, this silver proof coin, is a Marcanti piece that we're holding. And that is something that in itself is worth a collection. As you see the little JM right there. Such a beautiful, beautiful piece. And it is hard to understand the scale of this bridge. It's not something I have been to. It's not something I knew a whole lot about. But in doing my research, I have come to love and respect it. And I hope you have too. So that is what we have for you today here on the Culture of Currency as we tried to collect a silver quarter from all 50 states of this beautiful nation. Thank you so much for sticking with us today. And until next time, please remember, as always, to stay classy and current with the Culture of Currency.